Hi everybody, welcome to my behavior observation module for the Gambel's quail. During my observation period, the most notable and repetitive behavior I monitored was the quail call. I was able to capture 3 very different videos which can be thoroughly explained by Tim Bergen's 4 levels of analysis. For the first proximate explanation, I hypothesized that the call is initiated by an influx in hormones secondary to an environmental stimulus. According to a study done by Manfred Garr 2003, quail testosterone levels encourage sexual dimorphism, and thus it is reasonable to assume that hormones are the causative reason for a specific behavior. So in this first video, I accidentally got too close to the male quail you see here, and my distance posed a threat to him. So you just heard him sound an alarm call to his flock that's hiding in a bush nearby. You will notice that he remains very aware of my distance and that his call is very distressed and frequent. This is a hormone-mediated behavior caused by an environmental threat. This second hypothesis is based on the proximate aspects of the quail call. Gambel's quail recognize and respond to the call of members of its own species in order to maintain a steady relationship with its mate and have a better chance of personal and offspring survival. According to research performed by Guymark and Durenyacourt 2003, quails have a prezygotic disposition to recognize the acoustic calls of their own species. Based on the quail's observed behaviors, quail in the same flock, family, or partnership will recognize and respond to their own family and flock members. This is due to the learned behavior as well as a neurological and physiological characteristic that became established during the quail's development. In this video, we see a different male quail perched on the fence scanning the desert from a high vantage point. This is a perfect example of a quail using their innate ability to communicate with its family members. This male's female counterpart and offspring are resting in the low bushes of the desert clearing behind him. When he calls, you will notice how he stands up tall and cocks his head backwards. His calls are more rhythmic than the last video, and he appears more relaxed. Although we cannot hear it, it is likely the female is calling back to him. From an evolutionary standpoint, we may say that over time, the quail has maintained and refined its ability to call in order to protect its flock and possess attractive mating characteristics, both of which increase its fitness. As suggested by Damon Wilford 2014, Gambel's quails have evolved into a strong phylogeographic species within the Sonoran Desert over the past 125,000 years. This means they have held on to and perfected their calling behavior as a species. Finally, the overall functionality and purpose of the quail call can be accredited to maintaining the familial unit, which is essential for quail survival. According to Deal, Klunder, and Colleen, 1987, the quail has developed a complex ability to understand auditory stimuli. This keen understanding of vocal communication is strong evidence to suggest that calling evolved to help quails warn, attract, and communicate with one another effectively. In this video, you will observe a female following her male partner as well as another male at the opposite end of the wall. You just heard this third call variation in which the approaching male signaled to the singular male to retreat. In doing so, he managed to protect his territorial space as well as his partner, and the singular male flew away. The quail's ability to generate a call is a shining example of both kinship and the benefits of a monogamous relationship. As we saw in the first video, the quail put himself at risk by sounding an alarm call. He alerted his flock to an imminent threat, allowing them the opportunity to get away. By demonstrating direct selection, he aided in the survival of his close relatives. This is also a behavioral defense parental care strategy for the quail's chicks. In the second video, we observed monogamous communication. Quails exhibit both social and genetic monogamy, which is an adaptation they have developed for survival and reproductive purposes. They can use their call to attract a partner as well as remain in contact, which is a cornerstone for communication among the Gambel's quail.